I mean, he's not in a good spot right now. You know what I mean? He's not in a good spot. He's going to be reading a lot of shit about himself, and he's not going to be able to walk. Okay. And now he's going to start doubting himself. That's the other thing. He's really like, now it's impossible. I don't care who you are. It is impossible for a fighter to lose 3 of your last 4 and not start doubting yourself. It's impossible. It's not possible. All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. Now, every time Conor loses, I can feel my viewers just waiting to see what I'm going to do. Literally, like, I feel like people think that if Conor loses, I'm going to be like devastated. It's like, oh, I can't believe he lost. I had so much money and all my hopes riding on him. I have lost money on him both the last 2 fights. But like, yeah, I'm cool, dude. Like, I'm cool. My emotions are not super tied to Conor's career. You know, I'm not like one of these like super fans where like their team loses in the playoffs and they're all, oh my God, I can't watch. I just can't watch because my team's out. Because I'm a grown up, you know? I'm a grown up. So there's that, right? But I can certainly objectively talk about the fight, and we're going to talk right now about the dark days that are ahead for Conor McGregor, because they are going to be dark. He's got a rough road ahead for him. I mean, like a really, really rough road ahead for him. And not in the way that you guys are thinking when I say like, you know, oh, he's going to have a hard time getting his, you know, who's he going to fight? But I'm talking about the immediate next 6 to 7 to 8 months are going to be extraordinarily hard on him emotionally. I mean, like depressed, all of that stuff. I'll talk about it in a second. But first, I want to talk about a couple other things, right? So I want to talk about Dustin Poirier and how he crushed it last night. I also want to talk about Tai Tuivasa if I remember, but there are literally so many things that I want to remember to talk about, and I don't write things down. I'm freestyling, dude. I'm like Biggie Smalls. I don't ever write down lyrics or a script. And then this is where you guys, dudes, go ahead in the comments and be all, well, your channel would be way better if you did, bro. Be way better. That's not what kind of channel this is, dude. This is about me. You guys can either come here and listen to me ramble, or you can fuck off. Or you can say shit in the comments, and then maybe I'll put you on one of my negative comments videos and I'll fuck you up the ass in a way that you can't respond back to, because it's my fucking channel. So speaking of that, actually, before I even get into this, so all these people that were so bent out of shape that I did the Dustin's wife really is in Conors DMs video. For the record, I put that fucking video up yesterday morning, okay? That video went up, that was a nothing video. Like, I just happened to stumble on that screen grab video that Conor put out of like proving that it was actually the DM was real. And I was like, oh shit, that's interesting. That's a lot hard. I mean, I assumed that the screenshot was fake before, but that's a video. Seems very likely that it's real now, although probably not anything, you know, scandalous. So I just threw that video up there, right? And then after the event, everyone's like, clickbait, fucking piece of shit. I'm like, oh yeah? Is it really clickbait? Fuck you, okay? Fuck you. Fuck you. Anyway, so getting back to the event last night, though. So Dustin could not have had a better night, right? Like, here's the thing. When you have a Conor McGregor fight card, it is a massive opportunity, right? Huge. Now, if you're fighting Conor, obviously that is the biggest opportunity that you can possibly have. But even if you're on the fight card, you have to understand those people are surgically selected. Absolutely surgically selected. In each fight, there's someone that Dana and UFC are trying to feature. They're trying to set someone up for something much bigger. Fact. Okay, fact. So, as an example, on the main card, Sean O'Malley, let's put him against a fucking human punching bag so that we can build his profile, right? The girl that won, whose name I'm not going to say because she weighed in at 139 pounds, no. Okay, they're setting her up to fight Amanda Nunes, right? But you missed weight by 4.5 pounds, so I'm not saying your name. Just in case a lot of people watch this video, I'm just not doing it. I can't stand that. I can't fucking stand it. I can't fucking stand it when people miss weight by that much. I can't fucking stand it. Like, I literally cannot stand it. You put your opponent in a position where it's like, well, hey, are you gonna still take the event? I mean, I know you went blind on the treadmill, you know, making weight, and she just was like, whatever, fuck it, put chicken on my Caesar salad. I don't give a fuck. It's bullshit, okay? Fuck that. So I won't say her name. I just won't do it. I'm not gonna do it. The only time I ever talked about a person who missed weight by 5 pounds was when it was Mike Perry, because who fucking cares? But anyway, they're setting her up for Amanda Nunes. Then you got Greg Hardy and Tai Tuivasa. You got a real limited group of people at heavyweight, and you're in a tough negotiation with John Jones and Francis Ngannou. And so you need other people with profile, which is exactly what you got. That is exactly why that fight was on the card, is to help them bolster negotiations against Francis and John Jones, okay? In case anybody needs me to translate this shit for you guys. And then Gilbert Burns and Wonderboy, they're trying to set up a Wonderboy, who's going to fight. They were hoping Wonderboy was going to win because they're going to set up who's going to fight Kamaru Usman next, because they are assuming that Kamaru Usman's probably going to beat Colby, and then they have, who are they going to have him fight next, right? Who are they going to have him fight next? So Wonderboy wins, they have him fight Wonderboy. And then obviously, whatever, Dustin Poirier. But things didn't go their way with the Gilbert Burns fight, but all the other ones went really well for them last night, right? Tai Tuivasa had one of the best nights ever. Knocks out fucking Greg Hardy in off button, and then drinks out of a shoe. Comes out to Spice Girls, by the way. He came out to Spice Girls. He's my, aside from Francis, who will always be my favorite heavyweight, he's my second favorite heavyweight now. What? He's my second favorite heavyweight now. He came out to Spice Girls, and then he starched Greg Hardy, and then drank a shoey. So that's called bulletproof fight game right there. Now, who else had bulletproof fight game last night? Dustin Poirier, okay? Dustin Poirier had an incredible night, dude. Incredible. Obviously, he wins the fight, and then the way that you vanquish evil, if they're saying all kinds of fucked up shit about your wife, they're saying he's going to kill you in the octagon, is you beat the fuck out of them. And then while they're over in the corner, unable to get up because they broke their leg, you say, fuck this guy. He's a cheater. And by the way, I still hope he gets home to his wife and kids, because I'm not a sleazebag like him. I'm not fucking crazy. You don't say shit like that. So 100 out of 100 is the score for Dustin Poirier last night. And by the way, I was telling this to people this morning, Dustin Poirier had his profile just got, obviously his profile just got big, but much bigger. Now he decisively beat Conor. There's no, they'll probably do the fight again just because there's so much money behind it. But he knocked him out the first time. Yesterday, he was beating the living shit out of him, and then Conor's leg broke. I don't think very many people thought Conor was going to come back in that fight, given that it looked very similar to the Khabib fight. And what do we all know about Conor? If you get you get his gas tank, when he's on 10, he is so dangerous, dude. The first 90 seconds of that fight, he's so dangerous. But it just comes down just a little bit, and all of a sudden, he's a much less dangerous fighter. So, Dustin whips his ass and then says those things on the microphone, and it's in contrast to Conor, who's playing the bad guy, right? And I'm we're going to, trust me, we're going to get to Conor, and we're going to get to all of you too. We're going to get to all of you out there as it relates to Conor. But Conor's playing the bad guy, and Dustin makes, in stark contrast, he's I hope he gets home to his wife and kids. And by the way, I'm doing this for a real fighter here who's fighting cancer that I brought here. And hey, we're raising money for our kids. Jackpot, dude. 100 out of 100 for the performance. Killed it, dude. Killed it. I'll never, I will have an incredibly, incredibly hard time ever rooting against Dustin Poirier. Just straight up. Savage. I don't ever root against anyone. In all honesty, I was thinking about it last night, and I was once they were about to fight, I was I'm not emotionally tied to Conor winning. The only reason that I now want Conor to win is because of the implication. It just makes the event so big. If Conor wins, then Conor versus Oliveira is an enormous fight just because it's Conor, right? Having Conor in it, it's more fun, dude. I don't care what anybody says. You guys are going to tell me, even if you hate Conor, you're telling me it's not more fun? If you hate Conor, how much did you want Dustin Poirier to whip his fucking ass last night? So bad, right? And if you're a Conor fan, how bad did you want Conor to win? I don't think anybody who's not a sociopath would be rooting against Dustin Poirier. That's the thing. There's a huge difference between rooting for a person and rooting against another guy. Now, there are people that I imagine lots of people like to root against. Colby Covington, Conor McGregor. They do that shit on purpose, man. They do that on purpose. And so Conor winning just represents fun for the UFC and for the fans. It's just as simple as that, dude. That is for real the main reason I was rooting for him to win last night. But anyway, so Dustin gets 100 out of 100. Crushed it. Now, I want to talk about Conor, and first I want to talk about you guys as it relates to Conor, okay? Because here's the thing. I actually have a problem with a lot of people in general, the fans of Conor primarily, though, right? Well, no, I take that back. Actually, on both sides, okay? But I'll start with the fans, okay? So, everyone said that they didn't like nice Conor. Like, I want old Conor, you know? Hey, man, I want, Jesus' hat is on the roast. I want old Conor, son. We want that old, the fire Conor. And so he gives it to you, right? He gives it to you. He gave you old Conor, and he lost. Okay, now here's the thing that people don't seem to understand. Okay, now I know I try to make this clear when I do these videos. The two different sides, the promotion side where you make people interested, and then winning the fights. And here's the thing: if you take that role like Conor did in this fight and in the Khabib fight, whatever, and you don't win, it is a terrible look, dude. Like, you know, that's the thing, is you're putting so much pressure on yourself if you do that. But like, if he fucking wins, it's like this enormous bet, because then when he goes into his next fight, you know, I mean, you know, people are still gonna watch him fight either way. But if you play the villain role, you gotta win, dude. Like, you really gotta win. And you know, he didn't. So obviously that sucks for him. But people who are like, oh man, dude, I don't know, man. It was like, there's some low, dirty shit, man. I don't know. Like, I like Conor, but I don't know, man. It's some low down shit. It's like, you said you didn't like nice Conor. Like, you think a guy who's that in tune to the public is not listening to what they say, where he loses to Dustin, they're like, we need old Conor, man. That new Conor sucks. Okay. I can tell you from my own very limited experience here. Okay. It doesn't take a lot of negative voices for you to hear it and be like, okay, you know? Like, in my case, I generally just make like negative comment videos. So I'm like, fuck you, you little weasels. Fucking weasels, okay? Fuck you. Conor is making decisions that are enormous, like have to do with his brand and all kinds of stuff. And so if he hears, hey, dude, we don't want nice Conor, everyone says we need old Conor, he's gonna give it to you. He's a showman, dude. He's like, he gave it to you. So don't fucking complain about it, okay? Don't complain. But I will say, I don't think it was an act last night. Certainly not at the end. Like, I think he put himself in that space, and to lose like that in his mind. Now, look, that's a legit victory for Dustin, of course. But if Conor thinks that he broke his own leg because he kicked Dustin so hard, with a kick that Dustin didn't check, there's no way that in his own mind he's not being like, that's fluke bullshit in his own mind. And he lost his shit. Okay. Now, I didn't think that well, geez. I mean, I don't even know how to say this. I think as a fight promotions guy, he's a genius. Okay. Like, I don't necessarily think he was doing it on purpose at the end of the fight last night, but he not even almost. He talked his way into a fourth fight. If you guys think that they're not going to fight again, you're out of your fucking mind. Out of your fucking mind. They're definitely going to fight again, because the incentive for everyone is there. If Conor wants it, okay, Dustin will make way more money fighting Conor than anyone else, and he's a guy that he's beat the shit out of twice in a row. Dana will make way more money on a pay-per-view with Conor and Dustin. Do you think that Dana cares about any other thing other than how many pay-per-views he's going to sell? That's his entire business. That's his entire metric. The only metric that matters is that, without poisoning the belt. He can't give Conor an immediate title shot. Can't do it. But yeah, that fight's going to happen again. Unless Conor comes out and then he does like an RDA fight and then he loses, then, you know, maybe not. Anyway, so don't say you wanted old Conor, and then when he gives you old Conor, you don't fucking, you know, you don't you complain about it. But let's talk about the thing that I am probably going to title this video, and then I'm going to hear a bunch of shit from people that are all, hey, he gets to the part where he talks about the dark days of Conor at fucking minute 21. Jeez, I can't listen to all this amazing information, all this insight. It's poison. It's fucking poison having to listen to all this insight that I couldn't have thought of myself if I was given 100 fucking years and a brain with twice as much horsepower, right? You're telling me that you thought through the fight card and all those guys and why they put them on the card? Fuck you. No, you didn't. Okay? So it was good information. So go fuck yourself, even before you put that shit in the comments. Anyway, but yeah, so let's talk about Conor's dark road that's ahead, because he's he's going to have a rough go, dude. Okay. Now, how am I in a unique position to speak on what his next 6 to 8 months are going to be like? Like I've said before on this channel, I think there are certain personality things that I share with Conor. And one of those, which I know for sure Conor has, even more than me, is inactivity is not an option. Okay, like when I say, so you look at, as an example, like when after the Mayweather fight, right? When he, and before he fought Khabib, when he had that huge layoff, you remember when he was going to court and he was wearing those jeans and his legs were like this big? He was in, like, you look at him, you're like, Jesus, this guy's fucking built out of granite, right? And that's how he's looked always, right? He has these huge layoffs and he always looks like he's made out of, like someone chiseled him out of fucking wood and cement, right? Now, the reason for that is because he absolutely needs exercise. Like, he's a person where he has to train. And it's not like, I mean, yeah, he loves to fight, of course, but he's also a person where inactivity will kill him psychologically. Fucking kill him. And I can tell you from my own experience that, like, during the pandemic, the only thing that was keeping me sane was I was going to the gym 7 days a week, okay? 7 days a week. That's not exaggeration. You know, I got into this, actually, I'll just tell you straight up. I got into this cycle where I was microdosing mushrooms, and I realized that there's literally nothing better on earth than microdosing and working out, and mushrooms and maybe the other thing, you know, like the 3-letter one, but like, you know, you microdose it. My goodness, you know, I live in Silicon Valley, dude. People microdose. Go fuck yourself. But I learned that if you microdose, the other one, I don't know if I could say it on here, but the first letter's an L, last letter's a D. If you microdose that and you go to the gym, I am telling you, you will train for, like, you'll work 3 hours. You'll just be like, oh, I can do more. Listen to music. It's the only thing you'll ever want to do for the rest of your life is just train and do that. And I was doing that. I mean, I wasn't microdosing 7 days a week, but I was training 7 days a week. And I was happy. Like, I was legit happy during the pandemic while being locked in my house. And it was exclusively because I was able to go to the gym. When they locked down the gyms, I literally fell apart. Like, I was like, no. When I went up to the gym and there was a thing in the window that was like, sorry, you can't work out anymore. Oh my God. I just stood in the parking lot and just stared at it. I called my wife. I was like, what am I going to do? I just sat in my car for like 20 minutes because I was just so devastated. I was so reliant on, because I need to like lift weights and stuff, you know? Conor's used to fighting, okay? And his addiction to it is way worse than mine was. Way worse, right? Like, he's been doing this his whole life. And right now he has an injury where he's not going to be able to do anything, okay? He's going to sit in his big ass house, his big ass houses. He's going to hobble his fucking ass around. He's going to feel like an invalid. And I'm telling you, he is not going to be good, dude. Like, he is not going to be in a good place. In addition to the fact that now, okay, he's lost. I mean, dude, first of all, he never should have left 145 pounds. I'm going to say that right now, okay? I'm going to say that right now. He never should have left 145 pounds. Matter of fact, I might even title this video something where I'm alluding to what caused Conor's career to fall off a cliff, because it's so simple, okay? He was undefeated at 145 pounds. He walked through every person that he fought, okay, except Chad Mendez, you know, but like, seriously, like, look at his run at 145 pounds, which concluded with him KOing Jose Aldo in 13 seconds. And then look at his career since then, right? So, most heroic run ever, and then he's like, I'm going up. And it's like, first fight, loss, right? Second fight, win, but very close. Third fight, win, okay? Against a champion that versus the current top 5 would not actually lost to most of the guys in the top 5, okay? Then he's like, you know what? Now I'm going to go fight Mayweather, which obviously we knew he was not going to win, okay? So he loses that one. That one doesn't even count. Everyone like counts that. I'm like, you think he was going to beat fucking Mayweather in a boxing match? Shut the fuck up, you idiots. That doesn't count as a loss. But he comes back, he loses to Khabib, okay? Now, he shouldn't get marked for that because Khabib's the best lightweight ever. Then he comes and he beats Cowboy, which basically doesn't count. right? So you got 2 that don't count, but they're 2 fights. And then he loses to Dustin Poirier, and then he loses to Dustin Poirier again. Now, Dustin Poirier is the fucking man, dude. That's the other thing, too. Dustin, like, after this, I'm going to be honest. I will say truthfully that I didn't even respect Dustin to being as good as he actually is. Like, now there's just no question. There's just like it was one of those things where he was such a warrior and you're like, man, he's just like outlasting these guys, or he's doing whatever, blah, blah, like, but I didn't think of him as the way I do now. Like, now I think of him as like, this motherfucker might be the best lightweight in the world. Like, I mean, really. I know he beat Gaethje. I think he's going to beat Oliveira. And like, I'm almost at a place where I kind of want to see him fight Khabib again. You know, I don't see, it was a dominant victory the first time for Khabib. But like, now my impression of Dustin is very different. And I don't know if that's deserved because all he did was, beat the shit out of Conor McGregor twice, who it may not even be that good of a 155 pounder. But my impression of Dustin Poirier is very different. But like, Conor has lost to the absolute best guys at 155 pounds. That's the problem with jumping up in weight class like that, or being this big of a star. You like, tune-up fights don't work. Although they absolutely need to give him a fucking tune-up fight, dude. That's what they thought they were doing with Dustin. Like, they thought they were giving him a tune-up fight, and they didn't realize they were walking him into a fucking granite buzzsaw, But yeah, Conor's going to have a rough go coming back because people are going to be really hard on him, and he's not going to be able to say anything. And, look, like, a guy like that, his image is his entire value, right? Like, that's why the way he played the cowboy fight was so brilliant, because he was coming off punching people in the head. He was the villain. And then he played it super nice, man. He was just like, play it cool, play it nice. He beats Cowboy, and all of a sudden he's a superstar again. Just like that, and playing it nasty like he did, which I was happy that he was doing it. It just makes the fight more interesting, but very risky for your brand, because if you don't win, I mean, he's not in a good spot right now, I mean, he's still a superstar, but like, I don't know. You know what I mean? He's not in a good spot. He's going to be reading a lot of shit about himself, and he's not going to be able to fucking walk, okay? He's not going to be able to walk. He's going to be in a really, really bad mental state, certainly for the next 6 to 8 months. And now he's going to start doubting himself. That's the other thing. He's really, like, now it's impossible. I don't care who you are. It is impossible for a fighter to lose 3 of your last 4 and not start doubting yourself. It's impossible. It's not possible. It's not fucking possible. If he comes back from this, that would be one of the most unbelievable things that he's ever done. But he's going to be coming back. How you're not going to be thinking about your ankle breaking again? Like, after a break like this, that's not going to be in the back of your mind. Anyway, I've been talking long enough. To my real fans, I love you motherfuckers. To anybody who's been talking shit about my DM video, fuck you. Okay? Fuck you. Anyway, I love you guys. Peace.